Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to your boy's channel. You already know who it is. Back with a brand new video, and we got some Superman stuff we got to talk about because obviously we about a month away. All right, a month away, and the closer we get, the more answer I'm getting, the more interested I'm getting, the more excited I'm getting. Okay, because it's like finally. The only thing I need right now is damn ticket. As soon as the ticket goes on sale, your boy is definitely getting it. I know that the tickets for the Fantastic Four First Steps, I think they're going so tomorrow. Not gonna lie, or actually, this is gonna be up tomorrow, so officially today. I ain't really interested in getting them tickets. I probably wait, just because I don't think the movie is gonna sell out. It don't seem like a lot of people are very interested in it. But as far as the Superman movie, definitely gotta jump on it as soon as the word gets out that they are officially a go. But the main thing I want to talk about is the high expectations because it seems like everybody has some type of super huge expectations going into this film, which they should, because of the simple fact that this is the start of the new DC universe, and James Gunn is really going to have to do the best that he can at trying to get people interested, or should I say, did he do the best that he can to get people interested in this movie? And honestly, it's a mixed bag. There's some people who are excited. There's some people who aren't. Me, the more closer I'm getting to this movie, the more excited I'm getting. I think this movie is going to do big in theaters because of the simple fact, not because of the marketing, but because there's going to be people who are going to want to see it to like it, and there's going to be people who are going to see it who are going to want to shit on it. That's just the obvious truth, okay? Um, I know the internet obviously ain't a real place. People are going to obviously throw their opinions out on there, but I think that a lot of people are going to want to see it because they're going to want to talk shit about it, and some are going to want to see it because they're gonna want to see it be good. Me, I'm leaning towards the crowd that wants to root for this movie to be good because I've said it time and time again. If this movie does terrible, we are not getting we are not getting Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill walking through that door. I don't know what kind of transition the DCU would go through if this movie failed, but I think that you know it could do good. I think it's gonna do good. I don't know as far as the numbers go. I'm not a numbers guy, so I'm not the guy to ask about that. But I feel like it's gonna do good because we have been getting the same thing time and time again when it's come to the MCU. And to finally be able to have something different over here when it comes to the DCU, I think it's going to get people interested. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not getting the same thing that we've got before. Obviously, James Gunn is going in a completely different direction than what we got before with Zack Snyder's not Justice League, but with Zack Snyder's, DCU or DCEU, I should say. And I'm very curious to see how this works out. Now I know that the main um I wouldn't say storyline, I can't think of the right word I'm trying to describe right now, but the main big picture that James Gunn put out in front of us, I would say 2 years ago when he announced the movies and TV shows that were gonna come out. I know it's changed a lot, and that is okay. It's gonna happen. I think as of right now, I've said it before, we only got about 3 or 4 movies and maybe one TV show in production, with Superman already done, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow already done. For some reason, we're getting the Clayface movie. I'm not high on that. And then, of course, you got the Guardians, excuse me, DCU. You've got the what's the name of that TV show? Green Lanterns, right? So you only got like 4 things in production. Obviously, we don't know what's going on with Batman, and then of course you got the other TV show like Waller. And I'm more focused on the live action stuff. Oh, I almost forgot Peacemaker. And of course we had Creature Commandos or something like that, right? I never got a chance to even finish watching that. I only watched the first 2 episodes. But again, the expectations are high when you look at this new DC universe because of the simple fact that it is, a lot of fans want to see it succeed. And this is something that is starting this whole new universe. James Gunn has got to put his foot on the gas as hard as he possibly can to really try and get fans interested. And I get it. A lot of people have been saying that James Gunn it's mostly been focused on James Gunn because he's been a part of all the marketing. Obviously, you just saw him in New Mexico with John Cena eating crickets. So it's like a lot of people are saying that he wants to be the focal point, and it's hard to argue against that because you see him in every single piece of marketing. I recently went to the comic shop. I didn't read the comic, but I saw the comic where you had James Gunn on the cover of the DC comic with David Corn as Superman, and it's hard to argue that, but I don't know. This is James Gunn style as far as him being front and center. It's different from everybody else who are usually taking a back seat to the stars of the movie, which I think James Gunn obviously should be doing. I know he's the director; he's gonna have his time to shine. I've said this too. If the movie does do good, now if this movie fails, he's still gonna have his time to shine, but not in a good way. So I really want to see this movie take off, man. I really want to see this DC universe take off because, like I said, there's no Henry Cavill coming to that door. There's no Zack Snyder coming to that door. David Zaslav is not gonna turn around and be like, okay, yours didn't work, so I'm gonna go back and get the old guys. It's not gonna happen. Okay, we are stuck with what we got, and I really think that this could be something good if people give it a chance. I get it. There's some things in this trailer that look like a party. Maybe it's the lighting, maybe it's the suit, maybe it's how it was shot. I don't know, but there are some things I do agree to look like a party. Some of the posters and some of the not the Superman posters by himself, but some of the group posters, some of the marketing materials, they do look terrible, and it does make me wonder who has put the effort into it looking like this because they need to hire somebody else. But I'm trying to keep a positive outlook, open mind, like I've always said about this film because I want this film to do good. I'm glad that Warner Brothers has ramped up the marketing for this movie because, like I said, the pressure was cooking every single day, every single month that we were getting closer, and we weren't getting any type of marketing. But every day I go on Twitter, there seems to be some new type of marketing. Recently, we just got a video of David Corn Sweat as Superman come behind the scenes, obviously hanging out with a bunch of kids who looked very cute and they looked cool. You see the kids hanging out with Superman, and then of course we got the recent reveal of the bucket. This is a popcorn bucket but it's a Superman logo. But I don't know if it's like the official popcorn bucket that's gonna be at the theaters. I honestly would try and do something way better than just have it as a Superman logo. If I'm gonna do a popcorn bucket, just something different, man. Like make it creative, like what you did with all these other buckets. You know what I'm saying? But again, the movie has got to do good. Like I said, I'm not a numbers guy, so I can't throw any numbers out there for you. Do I think it's gonna be some big $1 billion hit? No, but I think it has to make its money back and do more because obviously you gotta look at the marketing and everything else that went into this film. And I know that Warner Brothers is really riding on this movie to do good, and they have to because if this movie fails, it's gonna be a hell of a backlash coming not just from the media, the critics, but fans as well. And if you ask me, do I think James Gunn was the right guy to take this on? I don't know. I have to wait and see until the movie comes out. If the movie comes out and it's good, then I can say yes, he was the right guy. But if the movie comes out and it was trash, then I can say no, he was the wrong guy. Because I think it's one thing to be the head of the studio, but it's a whole other thing to also direct it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in a Kevin Feige situation, sort of, but at the same time, he's in charge of directing the movie, and obviously, um, it comes with a lot of pressure, and the pressure is on the closer we get to this movie. And quite honestly, even to myself, I'm tired of talking about it and hearing people talk about it. I just want to see this damn thing and see the job that James Gunn does. And I know there's been a lot of reports coming out about how he had to go back and they had to change some things up and cut some scenes because the studio thought it was too much comedy. My one thing to the studio is let the director do the job that y'all hired him on to do, because this is the problem. When the studio interferes, it worries the fans because of the simple fact that you wonder what the cut that the director made. You wonder about how that one actually is versus the one that got all the studio interference. Go down the history and look at a lot of the movies. The first one that comes to mind is the Fantastic Four, I believe from 2015. That movie had a lot of studio interference, and obviously didn't come out the way that people or the studio thought it was. And now here we are again. There were some small tweaks and changes. This is what I'm seeing and hearing on social media and people talking about. So hopefully that's all it was. It was nothing major that's really going to affect the movie. I think one of the main things was, I guess, the comedy that they really put a lot of that out of. And it's like, it just seems crazy because it's obviously you want a more wholesome, a much more, kind of not jokey Superman, but a much more light-hearted Superman versus the more little bit darker Superman we got with Henry Cavill. So I don't know what the studio is trying to do here. It's like they're trying to toe the line between the two, but they can't figure out what they want to do. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay, hopefully it was minor changes, it was nothing big. Like I said, I think David Cornshaw will knock this out of the park. I think Richard Bronson will knock this out of the park. I think that Nicholas Hoult will knock this out of the park. And I did see the poster today of all the main actors together. Some of it did look kind of suspect, a little party, but it's a direction that Warner Brothers and James Gunn is going in with this much brighter, colorful universe versus the little darker stuff we got with the DCEU. So the pressure is on James Gunn. We got 1 month before this movie comes out. I cannot wait. I know I've said in the past I wasn't that excited, but the closer we're getting, the more excited I am to see this thing, and I am getting more amped up by the day, especially when these tickets drop. Look, the hardest tickets I ever had to get was the Spider-Man, I believe, No Way Home. Hopefully this won't be as bad, but we'll wait and see. Anyway, let me know what you think about my thoughts going into the Superman movie next month. As we get closer and closer, I do want to know y'all thoughts as well. How do y'all feel about the movie? Are you excited about it? Are you still kind of on the fence about it? Post your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you all for watching. I'm out. Peace.